everybody. We're here with the biggest spotlight on PIC TV Network with Queen Howard. She's been my friend for all 15 years. You've seen her on Double Cross. You've seen her on all social media. You've seen her do this big event in DC with actors, producers, directors, and have the keys to the city and opening doors for people everywhere. Queen, tell them why you do this.
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, I'm grateful to all the creative roles here in the DMV because now folks don't have to go to Hollywood. They don't have to go to Atlanta to get selected to be in a film, or they don't even have to go to New York because a lot of the great film directors are creating a lot of work for the citizens right here. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do the prayer for the Mountain of Entertainment and leaders uniting to pray with actors, dancers, producers, film producers, cinematographers is because this industry is rough.
It is.
It's up and down. You know, we had a strike, and I know one actress told me she only got like 21 cents, you know, during the strike. So then we had COVID. And so with this camaraderie, a lot of them have covered each other during the tragedy. They shared crews, they hired each other on each other's sets to keep everybody working. So I wanted to keep that camaraderie going on, but I wanted to keep it going on with God first. That's the difference. We're trying to make God first, because without him, I wouldn't be a casting director. I wouldn't have been casted in a BET show I'm in where they were looking for a man who was 33, and I'm nowhere near 33, and I'm not a man. So with those opportunities that have come for me, I want to be able to present a platform for so many others that aspire to do the same thing that I do.
Wow. You know, when I see you, we have a different relationship, not only in church, but now in the entertainment world. When I see you with Dietrich Hatton, who, you gotta give a shout out to him.
He was watching. Hey, Dietrich Hatton, I saw you watching earlier, and that's big because you know he's a film director.
Oh yeah, he's big.
He's got several shows he has done. You know,
biggest name in gospel.
Yes, he might have saw somebody that he was interested in, and he'll call me up and say, "Okay." He calls me. Apostle. I'm like, yes, what do you want, Pastor Dietrich Von Hatton? But he was watching today, and that says a lot. But, you know, he's even encouraged by the work that I am doing. So he would join on live and watch us. But I've been blessed to work with phenomenal artists like him. I have another one, Jokia. She's been #1 twice on billboards in the past 2.5 years. I also have Titus Showers, who was just #1 a year or so ago. I do booking with Jacqueline Carr. I just finished booking Canton Jones on something. I do booking with Jermaine Dolly. I do booking with J.J. Harris. You know, it's a list of them God has blessed me to be able to work with. I manage groups from other countries. They have a group that went to #1. They have a new single coming out. Their name is The Last Call. We're working on that now because COVID really hurt them. They live on an island, it's only 22 square miles. And you couldn't even leave off the country. So, and then I have another Caribbean artist, DJ Nicholas, from Jamaica, and he's been blessed to be on everybody's albums. He's been on Dietrich's, he's been on Todd Delaney's, you name it. So it's just awesome that God would entrust me with people's careers, and I manage and represent film producers.
I know, but I want to say thank you, Queen, because you have done something that nobody that I have seen do in DMV. You have the keys to all these big connections that you have, but you connect the connectors, and then you open other doors. You have the keys to the city, then you open the doors. Because I'm sitting here now to be the president of PIC TV Network. You've seen us on Roku, you've seen our TV sales commercials, but I've been praying to come into the movie industry to the next level. I have short films, but mine is nowhere near being in the studio with real deal people like in that room casting and all these actors up here. These 2 days has changed my life. This woman right here, y'all hear this? This woman right here, she got a big check coming, folks. You said, what can I get though, right?
Send it. I said, send it.
And let's talk about this. Queen, you can't get to this level without great opposition. Tell people you had to fight through some stuff.
Still fighting, because I'm covering people in prayer. I'm covering film directors. Film directors come to me for prayer, with their intricate issues and circumstances and problems, and it has to be confidential. And I know that the enemy thinks that he has
Right.
the film locked up, he
Wow.
has the music department locked
Wow.
up, but there's some remnants, there's some believers out here that God has an assignment to make a difference visually, and they need people undergirding them, and they need people who are bold enough to say what thus saith the Lord. Because the film director came to me, I'm just gonna be straight up. We
Yes,
had a
straight up.
premiere Thursday night,
Yeah.
Kingdom Reign.
Yep.
And Joshua Coates, he's a film director I managed for years, and he's doing big things out in Hollywood right now. And so he came up to me after the film he was actually looking for me to bring me up on the stage.
Right.
And he came up to me and he said, so what's next?
Mm.
What did you see? Did you think? He started asking my opinion of the film, and then he said, I know you flow prophetically.
Mm.
Could you prophetically see where I was going?
Wow.
And he wanted my advice. Do you all know what that meant to me? For somebody to come to me and to ask me, what is God showing me prophetically?
That's amazing.
And that they're going to trust what I say to them. So I just can't say anything to these film directors because it's going to change and alter the dynamics
Yeah.
of somebody's life, because we're talking about people who are out there with millions, 100 million, or whatever. People, I'll show Double Cross, the #1 show.
That's right.
We're like the poster children for All Black TV Network.
Yep.
And
Jill
it's
Nelson, Jill, Pam.
yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. You came to the premiere. You remember that?
it was
You
amazing.
came to the premiere. We had over 65 press people
Hollywood
there.
flew here.
Yes. And I had invited all them press people. They came from all over the globe. And see, that's another thing. We want to make sure, oh, thank you, Jesus. He's giving me another name versus Hollywood. He really is. Not only that, he's giving me another name. He gave me a vision while they were speaking last night of a round table. And if you're listening to me and you're that investor I need,
You coming?
he gave me a vision of a round table of investors that were sitting at the table with me. And God had told me strategically who to select to sit at that table so their films could get out. And day before him telling me that, I had just met a gentleman that is an investor that sets up investment banks all over the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out, sir. I'm not going to say your name. And he also is assigned to the Portier family, Sidney Portier's family.
Jesus.
So he just invested in 3 films. I'm looking for the rest of the investors because God has made me a connector.
Connect.
To connect. I'm a midwife, and I understand
Yeah.
that. And sometimes you talk about pain and warfare. Sometimes I cry because I'm like, God, where are my midwives?
Because you are opening doors. People came from Philadelphia. There was a couple I interviewed last night.
Phoenix. They've 2 film producers that flew in from Phoenix to be here with us last night. And they're part of my prayer partners. One of them is an apostle.
One
And-
young lady, she said, I came down from Atlanta just for you.
Wow.
She said she was in there. She's a pilot. I remember Dr.
Dr. Rhonda.
Yeah.
She's part of Mega.
She's on the
Megamind.
plane now. She's
She's
flying
gonna fly
back.
back to Atlanta. She round trip. She's now the company she works for. Tressa, I love you. So if you watch this, Tressa, hey, Tressa and her sister and her brother, it's 3 of them. They kind of work together with Megamind. And Rhonda is the chaplain for Megamind. So she's one of the producers, and they have shot over 25 films.
Wow.
And they're located in the DMV.
Yep.
But right now they're shooting a film in Atlanta. She promised me she would be here. She caught a plane.
Yes, she did.
And she round trip to speak last night and to speak today. And we had to escort her
Man,
out to go
she
catch her
could have
plane.
charged $25,000, $50,000 for
Oh,
that.
God.
Maybe $75,000.
I told her, hit me up because I got to give you your money. She said, girl, please.
Jesus.
I'd rather have favor than
That's-
anything else. I know God's hands are on me, which is why I've been through so much.
It
I
is.
know that.
Yep.
He has entrusted me with so much. I know that. This is why I cannot get out of his will. There are multitudes. There's nations. Right now, I'm negotiating with various countries to bring film producers into their countries right now to establish relationships and partnerships to help.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now to help those countries get promoted from a minister of tourism standpoint or whatever it may be, but to provide opportunities for film producers instead, so they can get an authentic Caribbean person with an authentic accent. They can get an authentic Hispanic person with an authentic Hispanic accent, but then the marriage can be established where you provide work for people who on the land who may not have the money to get a boat or a plane to get off their land because their land is circulated by water. You hear me?
Yep.
So these are just some of the things God has assigned me to do.
You're watching a special PIC TV network, Bright Light on the Queen right here, Queen Howard. Queen, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you.
Well, I'm doing better. I was telling the other person who interviewed me, I'm not an influencer yet, but
where they can write the check? Tell us where they write the check to.
They can write the check. You can write that right now. You want to write a check, you can write it
and she
to
will
me
use it to
right
bless
now.
people. She will use that money. We had a young lady who, 20 years old, came from Philadelphia, drove up and down just to be with you today.
Wow. And she got casted. I think she did. I think she got casted. Yeah, if you want to write a check, my company is called Faith Management. That's FAIT, management. Because I had to have some faith to do this. I walked away from a full-time medical career. I have like 8 degrees people don't even know about. And the Lord called me out and said, start Faith Management.
Queen, when I looked at the flyer and you had directors, actors, producers, I looked at that thing, and I just came from the Black Chamber of Commerce event with 3,000 to 5,000 people this week, and I seen what you did. And give a shout out to WGBR. We got to do that.
Oh yes.
And what they did to open doors. But when I seen you bringing all of these folks together, I have never seen anybody.
Is whether or not we're going to move out on it. And so Michael Chin, who is a film director, he has 3 films right now. We're working on several. We've established a partnership with some major production companies and networks. And so you're going to see a lot of work coming out of him. And I went to Michael and I said, listen, God has given me this vision. And being that I manage you, I said, you got to come on now because I'm a midwife. I said, you got to come on. You got to jump on board with me. So we started brainstorming, and it was the Lord who selected who he selected. I know a lot of film producers all over this globe, but it was the Lord who selected the ones that walked up in the door. And this is why the presence of the Lord has been in this, even though they're doing films on BET, Hallmark. They're doing films on Tubi, but they got secular networks they're doing films on right now. And there's a main network I just finished casting for. I can't even say the network, but it's none of the ones I just said. And we're going to shoot in the summertime. And I thank God for that opportunity because I was casting and finding talent and just being at the right place at the right time. And the producer, the executive producer said, I want you.
Yep. I'm telling you, when you was in Double Cross, y'all got to see it. When you finish looking at this, go over there. I think it's on Tubi.
It's on Amazon Prime, all black. It's on a lot of streaming platforms all over.
But Double Cross, when she put that role in Double Cross, y'all, she blew me. I said, that's Queen Howard. I'll hug my TV.
But you know what? She's a dichotomy. Diane, who is over sex trafficking children and selling them. But in the other one on BET Plus, I play a pastor. So it's 2 different ends of the spectrum. And people may say, why would you be in a child sex trafficking movie? Well, first of all, I knew the film producers. Okay, I've been working with them since they were teenagers. Howard and Crystal Gibson of them Gibsons. Yes. I managed them back when they were teenagers. So when that opportunity came for me to cast it, and then Crystal saw a role for me in it, I said, she knows I don't want to be naked. She knows how I want to look. That's why she made me a very elegant, no nonsense, child sex trafficking woman. And I said, you know what, I'm going to use this to bring awareness to what is happening. That's why I wanted it. Because somebody said, how you be an apostle when you do this or whatever? I said, I want to bring awareness. And I knew that Crystal was going to tastefully write my role. Now I had to bring some action now. You a mess. I had to give all of that. It was all up in the eyes. And
you put it down.
I had to.
Put it down.
If when you open that platform for me, I'm not going to let you down. You understand what I'm saying? So I like the dichotomy. Now, one of them that was here last night, she's writing a lead role for me in another movie. Bernita, she's a script writer. She talked to me at a premiere, and she said, I'm going to write you a lead. And I have another director that told me he was going to write me a lead. It's like he's in LA. I call him up. Dude, Dale. With my lead, okay? He was shooting in Belize, and he said, I'm gonna get you. I said, okay, that's gonna give me time to drop my 20 pounds, because I'm normally skinnier than this when we shoot.
Right.
And he told me he wants me to be like a black misery.
Wow. Wow.
He wanted me to go there.
Wow.
So I can't wait for that one, because that's gonna challenge me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then your boy Gil put me in this play, and he had me play a grandmother.
I saw it.
I was like, Gil,
there.
a grandmama.
I can see it.
But he made me sassy, Miss Pearl.
You Queen. But
She
Queen,
was
before we close, when are you gonna bring Dietrich Hatton to this area?
Oh, check this out. I'm so glad you asked that. April the 19th.
Wow.
Dee Hattie will be right here doing a
No.
listener.
Hold up. Did y'all hear that? PIC TV Network World, DC, Maryland, Virginia, they always stand outside getting you can't get in.
Right.
Talk about it again.
Dietrich Haddon will be right here, WBGR TV and radio, doing a listener party for his newest single. And then later on, he'll be back in full concert because he's on the tour. He and Pastor Mike and Anthony Brown will be back sometime in May or something like that on the full tour. But Dee Hattie is coming here April the 19th on that Friday. Tracy Morgan is the host. And folk ain't gonna be able to get up in here.
You can't.
They're not gonna be able to
We're
get up
probably
in
gonna
here.
put a tent outside
They're not
and let's
gonna
just
be able
have
to get up in here.
let's have a little big. Let's put like 10,000 seat
Yeah, they're
tent
not gonna be able
outside.
to get in here. That's April the 19th on a Friday. Come to WBGR Studio, 8401 Corporate Drive, Hyattsville, really Landover. What is that subway over there?
That's
Is that Addison? What's that? No, it's not Addison.
That's I think Greenbelt.
It's Green? No,
I
that
think
ain't
so.
Greenbelt.
We'll figure that out.
Well, it's a subway station right across the street in a Courtyard Marriott. But Dee Hattie will be here.
He'll be here.
So I'm glad you asked about
Queen,
that, because that's right around the corner.
It's right.
He's going to be here.
And while we're talking about WGBR, we're collaborating with PIC TV Network, WGBR, Roku, everybody coming together. Queen,
And he's on Fire Stick, too.
Yeah. Give a shout out to him, my man.
Oh, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Because he and I have partnered in all this series of stuff you're going to be saying. Yeah. I've been knowing Doc for 30 years.
Gee.
He and his wife, Dr. Leslie, for 30 years. We have been friends. And regardless of
And
me.
you know he don't do this to everybody.
No, he doesn't. And we've been talking about a partnership. This is crazy. He and I have been talking about a partnership ever since he was in the last building.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he took the building that Kathy Hughes had.
Wow. Hold up. Stop right there to let the world know. Our brother took the building where Kathy Hughes is. Do y'all know what that big that is?
His office was over there.
I remember.
And he had a studio over there.
I remember.
And then God told him it was time to shift. And so he shifted over here. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm not trying to be funny, but working with me, you're going to need a bigger place. Because there is a conference room back there that holds like 150 people, whatever. But I was like, no, Doc, you keep working with me, we're going to have a bigger situation. Because the timing is now for God's people to be exposed, to be put in the forefront. God keeps telling me hidden treasures. And it's time for people to find out what those hidden treasures are. And it's in their gifting. It's a multiplicity of gifts. We're not one-dimensional. We want to act, I used to teach school, and that's all I did. And I was like, there's more to me than teaching school. It's got to be something else. I'm just saying. I'm sitting in a classroom every day, and I love my children, but God said it's going to be a time for you to shift, and I'm going to tell you the time when you shift. You got to shift when I tell you to shift.
Yeah.
That's important. You must shift when he tells you to shift, because he told me to shift, Bishop. He let me win every science, engineering award you can think of, teacher, or everything. And then what I did was I went back to stable money that I thought was stable and got back in the classroom. And he said, your spirit has outgrown the classroom. And I was miserable and frustrated because I didn't shift.
And this woman has been in super arenas with NFL players. And it's some names she can't say on here, but she knows NBA players.
Yeah.
I saw you talking to a big cat out there the other night. I couldn't go over there because that conversation was too big for me.
Oh, okay.
But that was a big star. You know what I'm saying?
When was this? I'm always I
I can't go with you on TV.
Right.
But you know some people who have got the spotlight on them all the time.
I do. I'm in
When
the
you're saying
I'm
Dietrich Hatton, that name above, I mean, whatever he has something, you know everybody gonna be drawn to what Dietrich Hatton's doing. And you know him one-on-one. Every time I see it on social media, you right there.
I represent him. I've been with him for 30 years.
Wow.
And I just thank God that he has entrusted me with such a dynamic man of God, because if you work with somebody and they put their ministry in your hands and say, okay, that's a lot of pressure. And this is why I have to stay on my face, because it's not just Dietrich and me, it's these film producers, you know what I mean? The Lord has entrusted me with more. But the interesting thing is I started in film. See, people don't know my backstory. I started in film and television, and the Lord had told me, give it up. Wow. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to write movies. The Lord said, give it up. I said, give it up. I'm just getting started. And I was on my way to casting, and I was doing some casting with some heavyweights. I did some casting cameos in a movie that Charlie Sheen is in. I was doing some heavy stuff. Lord said, give it up. And I started representing and managing national recording gospel artists. And I started working with play directors like Tyler Perry, David Talbert, Emmanuel Seegers, Mike Matthews, is there a lot of them now are film directors.
That's right.
So Chuck West from Octet, we worked together. So he put me in his film. He knew me from a long time ago, but he didn't know me as an actress. And so I'm just say this to shut up, because I know you have somebody else to interview. But what happened was, when God told me to go back in the industry, he said, I'm going to restore back to you the years that the cankerous worm, the locust worm, the caterpillar worm has stolen from you. He told me that. He said, it's time to go back. I thought I was too old. I was a 20-some-year-old. And when I wanted to act, I was modeling, dancing, you know, bomb figure, whatever. But that's gone, okay?
Right.
So I'm like, God, how you going to do this with me? He said, go back in it. And when I went back in it, it just started happening just like that. And he said, with them artists, my focus is not just artists.
Yeah.
He said, now connect them to synchronization deals. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Help them bridge the gap, because when COVID hit, none of them were out singing.
That's right.
But if they had a song that was on a movie, it could have been playing. You feel me on all of that?
Wow.
So I had to shift, not just for me, but I had to shift for those that were connected to me when God said so. And so he told me, right now, my emphasis is film and television, and the artists that I represent, I'm bringing them over to, like Joe Kia, I casted her in Double Cross, you know, so I'm bringing them over to where God has placed me, so it can expand what God has given them. There's 5 ways the enemy tries to attack us: taste, touch, hear, smell, and see. Those are 5 portals. What? Television, music. The Bible says, touch not the unclean thing. I watched a lady yesterday that caught a disease all over her face from touching a wig. Okay? So these are the 5 portals that the enemy used. And God told me, homegirl, you got to tackle all 5 of them. So this is why the emphasis is on the visuals right now, because so many of our young people are being shifted from what they emulate, which is on TV, and they'll sell their souls so quick for stardom.
That's right.
And God needs some folk who are part of the fivefold ministry, his governmental ministry, that are going to say, no, baby, you don't have to do it this way. So that's why I'm here.
This has been one of the greatest interviews in the history of PIC TV Network. You guys seen this on TV shows, commercial short films, all of it. You paved the way for our network to come on with actors, directors, producers. I've been praying for this, and now we're here because of you. This will never, ever, ever be forgotten. Now, Queen, before we leave today, I got to get this check to you. Wait a minute.
Oh, my God. But you make me fall off this chair. Ooh, okay. That's the beginning of what you're going to open up a floodgate of those investors.
All right.
I'm serious. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Y'all help them get a pen. Where are they with the pen? Because that first person that does it is going to open it up. Remember, I spoke of the investors table. So it's going to start the floodgate, because when they sow into me, I'm sowing into somebody else. And it's opening up some kingdom stuff. It's not for me, it's for the kingdom.
And there is a host of young people, Queen, before we close out. These people are 19, 18, 17 years old. You did a casting for actors. I seen the hallway full of them in the rain.
More. It should have been more, though, because I would have come here, rain, sleet, hail, anything that wasn't deadly. if it's what I want, because folk got to learn how to invest in where they believe God is taking them. Little rain, you don't melt no rain. I've been in places where it snowed and I still showed up.
Wow.
Folk will go to a basketball game. They'll
Wow.
they'll go see their favorite football team and sit outside in some bleachers with some snow. But they don't want to invest in themselves. They want everything microwavable and quick. And a lot of that is because of what the internet has done. You got instantaneous hit, influencers who hit this, that, and the other. It's been like a microwavable experience, and they don't go through the process. But I would have gone through the process if I knew all. Between yesterday and today, we have had 15 film directors and casting directors up
Bona
here.
fide too.
Bona fide. These are real people
Real deal.
with real resumes
And movies already out.
movies that are already out, bestsellers all over this globe. They were right here at WBGR.
Shaka last night said, David, I got a part for you in the movie.
See there? Just because you were here.
He said, I got a part
And
for
let's not even forget Allison Williams, the singer that was here last night. Know my name. Her team called me up, said, can we pass through? This is a Grammy-winning singer.
Big.
R&B jazz singer. She said, can we pass through? She was on tour promoting her new single. I said, you coming through here, we praying for you. And she said up in there, I'm not leaving. She said, I want prayer. She said, I said, I'm not letting you go without prayer. So I stopped one of the speakers because she had to leave. I said, listen, we got to pray for her right now. And so we prayed for her. And that's what this is about. I don't know what she could be going through. She said she was 62. Coming back out with a new single at 62. I don't know the mindset, but I know God does.
Wow. This is big, folks. One of the biggest spotlights in the history of PIC TV Network with the Queen Howard from the DMV. Now, if you want to get in touch with her, you got to, I'm telling you, if you want to get into movies, acting, directing, this is the hookup. She connects connectors. This lady right here, she's a queen, y'all. Don't sleep on this. Don't sleep on this. Watch it again. Thank you for your time, PIC.
Hey everyone, this is big. I want everyone to download the PIC TV network on your Roku search bar. My brother David Evans is growing PIC TV fans, and I want us to help my brother blow up PIC TV. Boom! Click and play www.thepictvnetwork.com. Bomb.
Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the 5th floor. Yo, looky here. I love PIC TV. My favorite TV network on Roku. They all laugh. Yo, looky here, Dave. Want you to come hang with a brother on the 5th floor, and we can sit back eating up a whole lot of the sandwiches and checking out some PIC TV. That's what I'm talking about, my dude. So once again, to my man, them over there at PIC TV Network, my dude over there, David Evans, the president, doing it the right way.